Luxury on a budget, that's definitely what I'm calling this property. We spent 4 nights here and I was shocked at the quality from the rooms, the food, the amenities around the resort. Definitely stay tuned and check out this video if you're looking for a beautiful place to take your family to. Is it worth your money? Is it worth you coming here? Every resort is different. Every resort offers different things. So I'm here to help you figure out where the best place to take your family is, so you're not wasting thousands of dollars trying to figure it out. I'm gonna do it for you. What's up, you guys, and welcome back. If you're new, my name is Heather and I love sharing all-inclusive resort reviews with you. I am also a hairstylist and my husband is a travel advisor. We have 3 kids and we love bringing these videos to you, hoping to help you find the best resort possible for you and your family. Sometimes these resorts are good and sometimes they're not so good. So we're here to help you guys get the most bang for your buck, where to spend your hard-earned money, show you the good, the bad, all the ins and outs of the resort. So if that sounds like your type of video, then stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, give us a comment, and if you need any help with your travels, definitely hit us up. Our links are down below in the description box of how to get a hold of us. So let's jump into this video. So for our kids' spring break, we decided to take them to the Grand Palladium in Riviera Maya. I absolutely love this area. I love how lush all the resorts feel. It's very tropical. We did stay at a very large resort, so it's going to be a long video. Stick with me and I'm going to break it all down for you. First, I want to talk about getting there. It takes a good solid hour. And obviously that's going to depend on traffic. Thankfully, we had 0 traffic on the way there and back. You do go through a security gate at this resort, which is how most of these resorts are around the Cancun area. Very secure and safe. Once we checked in, they whisked us away to their family section. We did upgrade and stay in their premium section. I will break every section down, but you do get a private check-in when you are staying at the FS or family selection area. Now, this is where things started to go a little south for us. Stick around, I'll go into detail about that in just a second, but I did want to show the family selection lounge. I mean, how cool is this? They do have a candy wall, a little coffee area. It's air conditioned. You can get out of the heat. They bring you a welcome drink, which I always think is nice. We were able to go straight to the lunch buffet. We are always starving when we arrive, and wait till our room gets ready. We walked around, ventured the property. It was huge. Like, it took us a couple days to figure it all out, but we did try to bounce around from each section before our room was ready. Needless to say, we were super tired, but oh my gosh, was it a beautiful day at check-in. The beach was absolutely gorgeous. So now we are being taken to our room. We did find out that the room we originally booked was not on their reservation side. I don't know what happened, but they did put us in a rooftop pool suite until they got the problem fixed. I will go into detail again about all that a little later in the video and how we got it taken care of. Wasn't super happy, obviously, because we booked a completely different room that had 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and now we're down to just 1 bedroom and 1 bath. But I'm giving you guys 2 room tours. So starting out, this is their junior suite private rooftop pool. Gorgeous, gorgeous room. I am not upset about the room at all, other than it's just not what I booked. It is absolutely stunning. Everything is updated. Just look at the decor. I mean, there's no complaints, other than maybe the tile being a little slippery. Be careful with that. But honestly, this is what made me choose this resort, was the quality of these family selection rooms. How updated, how new, just a lot more luxurious feeling than your typical budget-friendly resorts. Comes with all your standard amenities that you typically get at these resorts. They did have multiple size robes that fit each one of us. They did stock our mini fridge very well during our stay. Room service came quick. Very impressed with that. They give you some goodie bags for the kids. I will say this is kind of meant for, you know, some of the younger ones with the stuff that they give you, but my daughter had fun with some of the pool toys. Now with this room, you do get 2 balconies, one downstairs, and then let me take you upstairs. You do get some gorgeous, breathtaking views of the ocean, beach. It's a great room. We just prefer a little bit more space when we travel with our kids. I wanted to include another negative about this room other than the floor being slippery. It gets so bright in the morning from the upstairs space. This is at 7 in the morning, so there is no way to block that out really. Just heads up. Now we're going to move on to the family selection suite beachside. It doesn't have the word junior in it. Super important when you're going to look at these room categories. The reason why I wanted this room is because you do get 2 completely separate bathrooms with showers, sinks. You do get 2 separate spaces for sleeping. My girls like to stay up. They like to talk. They like to watch TV. We sometimes like to go to bed early and have our own private space, which is why I wanted this room in the first place. So we did get 2 nights with the rooftop and then 2 nights with this suite. My favorite part about this room was the large bathroom that was in the master area, and then of course the big patio, which I'll show you in a minute. The only complaint I have about this room was it was hot. It did not cool off near as good as that rooftop suite, which is surprising with, you know, the space upstairs and not having any blockage from it. I figured that room would be a little on the warmer side, but no. This room did get a little toasty. I'm a hot-natured person. If you've watched my videos, I will go on rants about this. So if you are looking for an ice-cold room, this one didn't do the best job. But look at this patio. Absolutely gorgeous. I loved soaking in that jacuzzi tub. Down below are the swim out suites, which if I had to do this again, I would get this exact room on the bottom floor because the servers were on point down there. Definitely, I highly recommend that bottom floor swim up suite. Room service again, great, came quick. We had some late dinner reservations, so this was great to order something around that 3-4 o'clock time just to hold us until our 8:30 dinner reservations. And I also wanted to give y'all some shots at night. This place is absolutely gorgeous at nighttime. Lit up beautifully. We loved walking to dinners. But don't worry if you're not a fan of walking all the time. They do have golf carts that are roaming around the property, taking you to different areas that you can jump on. Now let's talk about the beach, because I know this is a very important thing for some of you when looking for a resort. This property is located on a very long stretch of white sand beach. Great for long walks. We did have some seaweed. We went mid-March, and this is something that you just really can't avoid. It's Mother Nature. One day we had picture perfect beaches, no seaweed, the water was crystal clear, and then the next day when the waves were a little rougher, it wasn't as pretty. So it's just hit or miss, but on its good days, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is a little rocky in certain areas. You may have to go a little bit further down, closer to the family section where it's not as rocky, but it was a great beach in my opinion. And for those concerned about the sargassum, I've seen it in October, I've seen it in January, I've seen it in the summers. It's just hit or miss, like I did say before. So just expect it, but then it's great if it doesn't happen. And if it does, it shouldn't ruin your vacation. If you want completely free of sargassum, then you just don't need to travel to the Caribbean, because I've seen it in St. Lucia, I've seen it in Barbados, I've seen it in the Bahamas. It's everywhere, you guys. They did have some bars scattered around the beach. Look at this beach house that I seen one day. I thought this was so neat. It had its own little pool. I'm sure this books up like super quick. So if you're wanting a completely private oasis, they do have that here. Now over where our room was in the family selection, they have a private bar, some little snacks here and there. They do have servers walking around. You do have bolly beds you can rent. They are not free. More service over here, I will say, versus just staying at the regular pool. But I did love how convenient it was to step out of our room and get straight on the beach. Now let's get into the pool scene. There's a few pools to choose from, so I'm going to break them all down for you. The Colonial Pool, which was right beside our section. If you're staying in just the regular KENTANAH side, this is the pool that's going to be closest to you. It has one swim up bar. It is massive in size. It does have a little kiddie area with some kiddie slides, but the one negative about this, so deep, you guys. Like I'm 5'3" and it came up past my chin. So that is a huge negative. I do talk about that more in my pros and cons section, but just know that this pool is very deep. I did, however, love how it was located right off the beach. You could see the ocean from the pools. You got that ocean breeze. Lots of shady spots to sit, which I appreciate. I hate going to resorts where you can't find a covered seat to escape out of the sun. I loved that the buffet was located right beside these pools. I could just walk in and grab a snack, bring it to my chair. They did not care. Now let's go over to the White Sands pool. This pool is a completely different vibe. It's more chill, not as much covered seating, very hot and more concrete feeling. We did try to walk over here from the Colonial pool one day and it was hot. It took a while, so we preferred taking a golf cart if we seen them over here. Now this pool does have a swim up bar as well, and it's not near as deep. I mean, it's just your average normal waist level, which I loved. I hated how deep the other pools were. But both pools, both sections, massive pools. Great for spreading out. You're not on top of people. But like I said, this is definitely more of a calmer side. I don't even remember if I heard any music playing on this side. So if that's your vibe, then you'll love it over here. Other than like, you know, if the trampoline park area is full of kids, then it may be loud. But there was no one on these things, probably because you have to pay. It wasn't crazy expensive, so I didn't really mind it, but they hated having to wear life jackets in like 3 foot of water. I did not understand that. Maybe for little ones, but my husband really having to wear a life jacket. So they did this twice. Glad it was there. They did have fun. Another kind of neat touch was surrounding this pool. They have a river where you could canoe. They do have pontoon boats that could take you through their lake. I didn't ever see them go, but they do have that. So it's kind of different. They do have an area that's a members area. You want to pay to come back here all the time. A timeshare. This is where the pool is. There's no one here, as you can see. All the member areas around the resort were always completely empty. And for the last pool, this is the family selection pool that's kind of set in the resort, nowhere near the ocean. And obviously you have to be staying in the family selection to access this pool. You don't see the ocean. It's just a small little rectangle pool that was basically full of little kids. I guess because they can touch over here and they have a little playground area with some little water floats. Didn't hang out here at all. I came to film for y'all. My husband and daughter jumped in. I tested out the bar. And that's about it. I just didn't like the area of where this was located. It was kind of hard to find too. But great, I guess they have a pool option for the younger ones, obviously. They do have a restaurant and a bar right beside the pool, which is always a nice touch. Here's a screenshot of what they have. Drinks were great here. You get a little bit better service just because it's not as crowded as the other main pool. So it's not all bad. There's some good to it. If you think I look crazy, just stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll show you how I make this work. Sometimes I feel like a broken record, but I always say, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the part of the video where I am completely honest with you guys on my thoughts and opinions on the resort that we're staying at. Have had our ups and downs at this resort. I'm sure you've heard me say a few things in the video as we've gone along, but I'm gonna go into detail a little bit right now, while we're, putting makeup on, getting ready for dinner. It's our last night here. So I have a lot to say about this resort. Is it worth your money? Is it worth you coming here to bring your family? And yeah, there's tons of all-inclusives to choose from, so it's always super hard to narrow down. Every resort is different. Every resort offers different things. So I'm here to help you, figure out where the best place to take your family is, so you're not wasting thousands of dollars trying to figure it out. I'm gonna do it for you. We definitely had a rough start checking in here with them not giving us our correct room. I also wanted to say they actually had us down for the lowest room category, which was just the tropical view, when I upgraded and paid for a much larger suite at a much higher price tag. I don't know how that system got confused, but that's why Mama was mad. However, they did give us a really nice rooftop suite. I didn't book that room for a reason, because I wanted more space for me and my girls. We usually book 2 rooms, and I may sound like a snob, but that's just what we normally do. So when you spend the money to book a certain room, you expect that. I'm so glad that they took care of our clients that were checking in. We booked 2 clients the same time that we were staying here, and we made sure their room was correct. I mean, if something was gonna go wrong, we'd rather it happen to our reservation and not any of our clients. But we are getting a refund, and they gave us a really nice room, so all is well. So at least we were able to bring y'all 2 different room tours. I mean, I probably could go with each of these resorts that we go to and be like, hey, can you give me room tours of everything? But also I can try to fill out the resort the best I can. We're not like other travel agents that just pop into a resort for an hour or 2 and then like say, oh, this place is perfect. I want to be in the resort as long as I possibly can for several days to really get a feel of the place. Like when these travel agents go and do site inspections, they're really not getting the real deal of the hotel. They're getting guided tours by people at the resort, giving them the best food and drinks and telling them all these things to tell their clients, just building it up. And it doesn't mean like, you know, it's a place to recommend. So we're here spending our own money, making sure we give you the real tea of a resort. So let's get into the pros and cons of this resort. Obviously, one con, when we checked in, our room was messed up. However, they made it right. Ty, being a travel agent, is taking care of, you know, making sure we get properly refunded. So that is a perk of going with a travel agent, is if something's not right on a reservation, we're gonna make sure to make it right, versus if you just like book a third party like Expedia or something, they don't give a crap about you. Like, they've got their money, they're not gonna help you out. You'll spend hours on hold waiting to talk to somebody. Another con, let's just start with the cons. Sometimes I start with pros, but I'm gonna start with cons because it's a short list here. The service at the pool bars have been so slow. Like, and it doesn't seem like they're crazy busy, but I just feel like they need to have a few more employees behind the bar just to keep up with people, and it would be great. I don't always love having to get out of the pool and search for a bar to get a drink, and I feel like that's what we've had to do here because the swim up bars are really slow when it comes to service. Okay, honey, I gotta ask you a question. So what is something that you've really liked about this resort? Because you've been to so many, like, you kind of know pros and cons of every resort and what you like better.
I guess the pool, because it was like the biggest one I've ever been in.
The pools, because they're super big. So you really like the pools. Is there anything else that you really like about this resort compared to other ones that we've been to?
Some of the food here.
Some of the food you've liked here? Okay. Kids are picky. I've found that kids are picky. We went to the Mexican restaurant the other night and I thought it was amazing. And they were like, eh, but they're used to Tex-Mex, okay? This was like more authentic Mexican, which like I love, because we're Mexico. We're not supposed to have Tex-Mex. You want Tex-Mex, stay in Texas. I personally liked it. But anyway, what is something that's negative that you have not liked about this resort?
Like they don't do as much activities here, like there's like none.
That is true. We have found by flip-flopping between both of the resorts, between White Sands, Colonial, and where we're at, they don't have a lot of pool games. Like,
there's none.
There's like none here. And we're here on prime time days like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And they don't have anything going at the pools. They have the inflatables that you liked, but there's no pool games. There's no foam parties.
And you have to pay.
You do have to pay for the inflatables, which is not a huge deal because it was really cheap, but I guess it is a con technically. Like they have a kids club that's constantly got like activities if you're like 10 and under. Like she is almost 13 and she's not feeling like going to the kids club anymore. She's just past that age and she doesn't want to sit and paint and, you know, hang out with younger kids, which I understand. So if you have younger ones, I feel like they would love this place with all the activities they have, especially at the family club over here. But like for those that are looking for a foam party or fun pool games to laugh and cut up during the day and like, you know, music and stuff, they don't got that here, which is crazy to me. So if you're, I mean, looking for just like a more chillax resort that, you know, plays a little music here and there, but mostly is on the chill side, you might love this place. But I feel like that's a huge negative for a family resort because a lot of kids love pool games and adults like to people watch, and foam parties are just a thing now with these resorts and kids. So I just feel like that needs to be improved here for sure. Another con, we loved hanging out more at the, it's technically Colonial Pool, at the Colonial Pool, but it was so deep, like up to here to me, and like that's not fun. You can't like hang out in the pool because you can't touch, and like all these little kids are crowding the swim up bars because they can't touch either, so they're splashing in your drinks, and the swim up bar is just super crowded because no one can touch. So huge, huge con. Actually, I liked the vibe over here at the Colonial Pools, but the depth of the water and how it was laid out over at the White Sands pool was better. I do think this place is amazing for those that are on a budget and wanting more premium service without having to pay the premium price tag. Like, this place is fantastic for this, sorry. The rooms are upgraded. Of course, you get the butler concierge service. The food is actually really good for being a budget-friendly resort. Sometimes budget-friendly resorts, the food's more like average to good. So it's actually a really good bang for your buck type of property. So again, going towards the pros, I love the grounds. They're beautiful. I love how clean everything is, from the buffets to the rooms to the pools to the bathrooms around the facility. Like, everything is super clean and neat and upgraded and updated feeling. I was worried about certain spots of this place feeling like old and outdated because it is an older resort, but it really doesn't feel that way. Another positive about this is they don't limit you on restaurants compared to like the lower tier at a Barcelona or an Iberostar, where they limit you on your restaurants unless you upgrade to their premium. You don't have to be premium here to not get, you know, a certain number of restaurants. Like, you can book as many as you want. You may not get the perfect time that you want. Order something from room service, go to the buffet if you have an 8:30 or 9 o'clock reservation. It seems to be that way with a lot of different all-inclusive resorts, whether you're staying at a Dreams or you're staying, you know, at a place that's more budget friendly like Grand Palladium. So definitely highly recommend this property if you're on a budget but looking for a really nice option for a family all-inclusive, especially if you want to relax, especially if you're not looking for all that upbeat, you know, activity, entertainment, and you just want to chill. You want a pretty place to sit and chill. This would be the perfect option for you. And if this looks like your type of property, definitely hit us up. Our contact information is listed down below. We can send you a quote. We don't price gouge. We price watch all our vacations for clients, which means since these prices are like always fluctuating, you could look at prices one week and they would be completely different from the next week, whether you look on Expedia, whether you look on the actual hotel's website. So what we do for our clients is we'll sit here and once a week I'll go in and check the upcoming trips that we have booked out with, and I'll see if your price has dropped. And if your price has dropped, we get that money refunded back to you. That does not happen if you book, you know, direct or on Expedia. That only happens if you book with someone like us, where we're trying to save you as much money as possible. We're 100%, upfront and honest with everything. So we'll answer all your questions. Hit us up again on our Facebook page or on our email, and I've linked those down below for you guys. Now, when you go to look up the Grand Palladium Riviera Maya, you're going to see a lot of different names, a lot of different room options, from the family selection where we stayed to the KENTANAH, Colonial, White Sands, TRS. So I'm here to help y'all figure it all out. Now, the KENTANAH side. If you don't stay in the upgraded beachfront family selection like we did, this is where you will stay around this little lobby area. It is the least expensive of all the room categories. This lobby, you can tell there's a little bit of a difference once I show you the other ones. It's still beautiful over here. You get access to the restaurants no matter what side you stay on. I loved watching these flamingos outside the KENTANAH lobby. But again, no matter what side you stay on, you have access to majority of the resort other than TRS, which I will explain in a minute. But this section, if you want to help cut some costs, is great to stay on. Now let's move over to White Sands. This is the other pool area. The rooms are a little bit more updated over here. You do get some larger suites. They've got some bungalows on the lake that you can stay on. But mostly it all comes down to location of where you want to stay, where you want to be located, is how I see it. Now, we chose a golf cart to come over here and film this lobby for you guys. We did come over here for some restaurants. Again, if you stay in the KENTANAH area, you do have access here. But just comparing the two lobbies, this one is definitely a lot nicer than the KENTANAH lobby. A little bit more upgraded looking, modern. They have some more shops over here. They have the Chic Cabaret show, which is a show that you can pay for to go watch, you know, a dinner show and eat. I love the lake and how it surrounded the White Sands lobby. Just gorgeous over here. Now I'm going to show you TRS. TRS is the adults only property that's located on the Grand Palladium. The only way you get access here is to stay on the TRS side, or if you are a family selection guest like we were. So one afternoon the girls wanted to go take a nap, so we ventured over here to check it out for you. You can access this by the bridge and go through the mangroves. It's a beautiful walk, or you can take a golf cart from one of the lobbies, or you can walk down the beach. Once you leave the White Sands beach, they do have a path that will take you straight to the adults only section, which is a little bit easier in my opinion to get there, but it's very rocky over here. There is no beach. If you want a beach, then you have to go over to the White Sands or the colonial area. So that is a negative if you do want to stay on the adult side here at TRS. But I think that's the only negative. The food was great here. It's very updated, air-conditioned lobby. The rooms, if you just check out some of the rooms online, you will see how nice and luxurious they are. The liquor is upgraded over here as well. They have hookahs. Of course, they have all the shopping around the lobby areas like the other properties do. We have booked many clients here on the TRS Yucatan side, and we've never got to see it for ourselves, so it was absolutely stunning. It's just that different type of view. You're not going to have the white sand beach that you can walk on, but you do get the waves and the ocean. I mean, it was very pretty, but if you are a beach lover, I would suggest another resort if you're looking for adults only, or just staying over at the Grand Palladium, KENTANAH, or White Sands side. Now down from the main pool, they do have this natural pool that basically just lets in ocean water. It was kind of neat. On this shot, you could see there was no water coming in, but when we were down there filming, oh my gosh, the waves were so intense this day. Like, it was just sloshing in this pool. Obviously, no one was here. No one was in it, but it was different. It's definitely a different type of pool experience. This was definitely a rough ocean day when we were filming this. Lots of seaweed coming in. Water was a little murky because of all the waves, but nonetheless, it was a beautiful walk all the way back to our room over in the family selection. Now we're going to move on to some food. Food is very subjective. Everybody's taste buds are different, but you're watching my video, so I'm going to tell you what I think. I loved the food here. For a budget-friendly resort, no matter which section you were staying at, whether it's the bottom at the KENTANAH or the most expensive room at TRS, the food here is incredible. It really blew my mind. The buffet was honestly one of my favorite places to eat. And they had this large buffet that we hit up for breakfast, lunch, and a dinner one night. And they also have an outdoor buffet by the pools. So it never felt crowded, never ran out of food. They had everything you could possibly want, from Mexican to Asian to American, anything you could possibly want. We loved going here after our a la carte dinners to come and grab us a crepe, some ice cream. We thought the desserts here were much better than the a la carte restaurants. They also have a quick little grab and go buffet right out from the colonial pool where you could get those ocean views. Very quick bites like hamburgers, hot dogs. They did have an ice cream machine that my girls hit up multiple times a day. And for those staying in the family section, you do get access to the nest. Only if you are staying in the FS section. No one else can come here. It is a la carte. They do have a few little things you can grab at the buffet, but for breakfast you sit down and order, and the same goes with dinners. It takes a little longer, but it was good. We just ate here one time because we just like popping in and out to the buffets better. Moving on to dinners, I thought all the restaurants were really good. We started out with the Mexican restaurant. My girls didn't love this, didn't hate it, didn't love it, but it's more authentic, so that's not really their vibe. Me and my husband thought it was great. Portions are a little smaller, so definitely order as much as you want. You can order 5 entrees if you want. It's all inclusive, all included. My daughter's face, she was like, what is this? But trust us, it was good. If you're an adult and you don't eat like a teenager, you should like it. Of course, we're traveling with the kids, so we had to make a reservation for the hibachi. We've done this at every resort, so we don't tend to do them anymore. We just sit at the sushi tables, but when we bring our girls, they like the dinner show. Very good. This one's always a popular one, so definitely get those reservation requests in when you arrive. Another favorite was the steakhouse. Everyone loved this. Steaks were cooked to perfection. All the appetizers, entrees, good sized portions. Highly recommend making a reservation here if you decide to come to this resort. French onion soup. Is it good? Yeah? Very good.
This is
Moving on to the entertainment and activities they have around the resort. Definitely not much, but they do have this neat little junior kids club that you can come get some snacks during the daytime, get out of the sun. Everything in here is complimentary except for the bowling. You do have to pay for that. But they do have some neat things in here. I do think it's geared for the younger ones to come and hang out, but a nice touch that they do offer here.
Go try to play those drums.
Waiting on our dinner reservations one night, we came over here, played some games, paid for some bowling to pass the time. I want to say it was about $15. Of course, they do have the nightly shows like they have at pretty much every resort I've ever been to. And they also have a sports bar that you can come, order some food. It stays open pretty late, if I remember correctly. Watch a game. We didn't really test this place out, but I did want to come and get it on film. Even though the lights are crazy bright in here, it was not picking up very good on my camera. So that about wraps up this video. I'm sorry it was on the longer side, but this was a massive resort to break down. I do think this resort is perfect for families on a budget who want great food and updated amenities, but not looking to spend a lot. You get a lot of bang for your buck here. For us personally, the activities and entertainment was a miss, but not everybody's looking for that. And that's why I do these videos. So if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and just remember, we can book anywhere you want to go, whether it's international or domestic, cruises, all the things we can do for you guys. So definitely hit us up. We try to find the very best prices for you guys. No price gouging, upcharging like some other TAs do. Just a small business that me and my husband have started. You can check out our Facebook page also. We share weekly deals. We also share real client reviews with their photos from their vacations and their feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching this channel and supporting me and my husband and my little family. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a great week, and I can't wait to share the next video with you.